Hello everyone, welcome you all in class 11 geography. This is the module number 2 of chapter number 11 water in atmosphere. As you know that we discussed the module number 1 evaporation and condensation and different form of water in atmosphere like dew, frost, mist and fog we discussed yesterday. Today we will discuss about the types of cloud and different parts of precipitation. What are the different form of precipitation? So let's start the topic. Type of clouds. Cloud is a mass of minute water droplet or tiny crystals of ice formed by the condensation. Do you know this thing that due to the condensation the water become from gaseous state to liquid state, and this is the main cause behind the formation of clouds. As the clouds are formed at some height over the surface over the earth, they take various shapes. At the different height, as you know, there are different layer in the atmosphere, troposphere, stratosphere. So at different height of the atmosphere there is a different kind of clouds form. So according to their height we will discuss different kind of clouds. So on the form of their density, height and transparency or opaqueness, clouds can be grouped under the four types. Means the basis, one is height, second expansion, third density and fourth is transparency or opaqueness. So on these behalf we can divide the clouds in four parts or four types. First is cirrus, second cumulus, third stratus and the fourth one is nimbus. So there are four kind of clouds: cirrus, cumulus, stratus and nimbus. First type of cloud, this is the cirrus. Cirrus clouds are formed at the height of 8,000 to 12,000 meter. Means from surface there is a 8 to 12,000 meter in this area in the atmosphere. There is a formation of the clouds called as cirrus. These are very thin and detached clouds type, and their appearance is like a feather. So they called as feathery appearance or feathery clouds. So they are always white in color. So they just seem as a feather. They called as feathery clouds also. Second type of clouds are cumulus clouds. The formation of these clouds at the height of 4,000 to 7,000 meter. They look like a cotton wool. Cirrus, feathery appearance, and cumulus, there is appearance of cotton. At the height of 4,000 to 7,000 meter, they exist in patches, means they scattered and can be scattered here and there. So we can see these kind of cloud in patches and they are scattered here and there. There is no proper continuation layer of these clouds. They have a flat base. Then the third one is stratus. As their name implies, these are layered cloud. As we just see in cumulus, these are in form of patches, but the stratus, they are in form of different layers. So these are layered clouds covering large portion of the sky. Means which kind of cloud cover the maximum portion? These are stratus clouds. These clouds are generally formed either due to the loss of heat of mixing of air masses with different temperature. There are two kind of air mass, cold air mass and warm air mass. So when these two air masses mixing, there is a formation of stratus. So there is a formation of these kind of clouds in layers, and the maximum area or portion of the sky covered by these type of clouds only. Last one or the fourth kind of cloud, these are the nimbus. Nimbus clouds are black or dark grey. So the clouds which provide or which give a heavy rainfall, which give the heavy rainfall, these are the nimbus clouds. They are just near the surface. They form at middle level or very near to the surface. So the if we see from surface to high area, so there is a sequence of first near the surface nimbus, then stratus, then cumulus, and top of the atmosphere, this is the cirrus kind of clouds. These nimbus are extremely dense and opaque to ray of the sun because their color is dark, near about the black, so they are opaque to the sun ray. Sometimes the clouds are low that they seem to touch the ground. Nimbus clouds are shapeless masses or thick vapor. So nimbus are responsible for the heavy or continuous or torrential rainfall. But there is a combination of different clouds at different height. Separately there are 4 kind of cloud, but at different area we can see there is a combination of different clouds. So there are different combination at following heights. High clouds, cirrus, stratus, cirrocumulus. At middle cloud, these are altostratus and altocumulus. Low clouds, stratocumulus and nimbostratus, and clouds with extensive vertical development, cumulus and cumulonimbus. So these are the different group of the different kind of clouds. Now we'll see the precipitation. There are different kind of precipitation at different height or in different area. So first we will see what the mean of precipitation and how many type of precipitation over different areas. Precipitation. The process of continuous condensation in free air help the condensed particle to grow in the size. So you know the different droplets converge or accumulate on a hygroscopic nuclei. These hygroscopic nuclei can be a salt particle or a dust particle. It can be anything. So these hygroscopic nuclei, these salt particle, dust particle work as a hygroscopic nuclei, and different water droplets condense over these nuclei and they form the water drops. And when the air, or we can say the wind, don't have the capacity to hold the excess moisture, so this excess moisture convert in the liquid form and these are the drop. So basically this form of waterfall is called as precipitation. So there are 2 form in precipitation, snowfall as well as waterfall. When the fall is in form of water, this is called waterfall, means basically rainfall, and when the fall in form of snow, this is called snowfall. But there are different kind of snowfall like hailstorm and all these things. So we will discuss all these things in this topic. When the process of continuous condensation in free air help the condensed particle to grow in size. When the resistance of air fail to hold them against the force of gravity, they fall on the earth surface. It means जब hygroscopic nuclei और air की होल्डिंग कैपेसिटी ग्रेविटी से रेजिस्टेंस नहीं कर पाती, ग्रेविटी उनको ज़्यादा अट्रैक्ट कर पाती है और उनका रेजिस्टेंस कम हो जाता है, यानी एयर को मॉइस्चर को होल्ड करने की कैपेसिटी कम हो जाती है, उस कंडीशन में ये वाटर ड्रॉपलेट्स जो ड्रॉप की फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट हो जाते हैं, दे स्टार्टेड टू फॉल. They fall on the earth's surface. So after the condensation of water vapor, the release of moisture is known as the precipitation. यानी कि कंडेंसेशन के थ्रू जो वेपर है वो वाटर में कन्वर्ट हो जाती है और वाटर का जब फॉल होना स्टार्ट हो जाता है, दिस प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एज precipitation. They may take place in liquid or solid form. The precipitation can be done in both the form liquid and solid. The precipitation in the form of water is called as rainfall, or when the temperature is lower than 0 degree, precipitation take place in the form of fine flakes of snow. This is called snowfalls. So as I told you, when the fall in form of water, this is rainfall, and when the fall in form of ice or snowflakes, this is called snowfall. Moisture is released in the form of hexagonal crystal. These crystal form flakes of snow. Beside rain and snow, other form of precipitation are sleet and hails. So basically, snow is comparatively a low density in form of flakes. But when there is a different form of flakes, they form the solid hails. Hails means ole. So basically, at some time you can also see there is a form of solid ball of ice. These called hails. Other form of precipitation are sleet and hail. Though the latter are limited in occurrence and are sporadic in both time and space. Sleet is frozen raindrop and refrozen melted snow water. Basically, when a layer of air with the temperature above freezing point overlies a sub-freezing layer near the ground. So precipitation take place in the form of sleet. Raindrop when leave the warmer air encounter the colder air blow. When warmer air है और उसके नीचे encounter किसका हो रहा है, नीचे अगर colder air subsequently form होती है. So as a result they solidified and reached the ground at small pellets of ice not bigger than the raindrop from which they are formed. Sometimes drop of rain after being released by the cloud become solidified into small rounded solid piece of ice and which reach the surface of the earth are called hailstones. So hail means ole in Hindi language we can say them ole. Sometimes you also can see the solid white ball, solid ice ball, these called hails. Their shape and size are different and it depend on the cold air mass and availability of temperature of the air. These are formed by the rainwater passing through the colder layers. Hailstones have several concentric layer of ice one over the other. Now the type of rainfall. There are different type of rainfall at different area. Like if we talk about equatorial area, there is a convectional rainfall. If we talk about the mountainous region, there is a orographic rainfall. So there are different kind of rainfall. One by one we will discuss them. Type of rainfall. The convectional, orographic or relief and the cyclonic or frontal. So there basically we can divide rainfall in three parts or three type: conventional, equatorial region, especially orographic, mountainous region, and cyclonic or frontal. There are two kinds of cyclone: temperate and tropical. So according to the temperate zone, there is a formation of cyclone. First we see the conventional rainfall. This, when the air is rises, it expands and loses heat and consequently condensation take place and cumulus clouds are formed. With thunder and lightning, heavy rainfall take place, but this does not last long. Such rain is common in the summer or in the hotter part of the day. It very common in the equatorial region, as I told you. This is very common in equatorial region and interior part of the continents also, particularly in the northern hemisphere. So basically when the air become when the air become warm, it tend to rise. So when it rises, there is a formation of conventional current. When these conventional current, there is a upward movement of the conventional current at the limited height, there is a cooler temperature, so that condensation take place, clouds form, cumulus clouds are formed, and there is a formation of the clouds and condensation started, and there is a formation of a precipitation form, conventional rainfall. Then orographic rainfall, the rainfall held over the mountainous region. So when the saturated air mass, as I told you, there are two kind of air mass: cold air mass and warm air mass. So saturated means filled with water vapor. So when the saturated air mass come across a mountainous area, it forced to ascend and as it rises it expand. The temperature fall, जैसे से temperature गिरने लगेगा and the moisture is condensed. जो moisture होगा वो condense होने लगेगा. The chief characteristic of this sort of rain is that windward slope receive greater rainfall. After giving rainfall on the windward side, when these wind reach to the other slope, they descend and their temperature rise. Then their capacity to take the moisture increases and hence these leeward slope remain rainless or dry. Suppose this is a mountainous region. So this is the windward side, यानी जहाँ से wind enter कर रही है. So the air is saturated, जो air है पूरी उसमें moisture filled है, saturated point है. So starting में this air tend to rise. जैसी air होगी वो इस mountainous region पर ऊपर की side rise करेगी. And there is a condensation activity done, condensation process होगा and started to rainfall, और इस तरीके से rainfall होगा and this is the comparatively heavy rainfall. But when rainfall के बाद जब ये जो wind है ये इस पे असेंड करके दूसरे स्लोप की साइड पहुंचेगी तो इट डिसेंडेड, और जैसे ये डिसेंड होगी ड्यू टू द फ्रिक्शन देयर इज अ इंक्रीज इन द टेम्परेचर। फ्रिक्शन की वजह से, क्योंकि डिसेंड हो रही है, फ्रिक्शन की वजह से इसमें टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज होगा। एंड एज यू नो व्हेन द टेम्परेचर इज इंक्रीजेस, air, the capacity to hold the moisture of air is also increases. We discussed this thing in module 1 कि जब टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज होगा एयर के अंदर मॉइस्चर को होल्ड करने की कैपेसिटी भी क्या हो जाएगी, इंक्रीज हो जाएगी। सो दैट्स वाई दिस इज द विंडवार्ड एरिया एंड दिस इज द लीवार्ड एरिया, मीन्स शैडो जोन। दिस एरिया इज ऑल्सो नोन एज द शैडो जोन। सो जैसे ही विंड डिसेंड होगी इस दूसरे स्लोप पर माउंटेनियस रीजन के, इसका टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज हो जाएगा एंड ड्यू टू द इंक्रीज इन द टेम्परेचर देयर इज अ holding capacity of the moisture is also increases of air. So in this way there is no condensation activity done, no process of condensation done, no clouds are formed and there is no rainfall or a very less rainfall. So that's why these leeward area receive a very less or no rainfall. So in this way we can say the windward side receive heavy rainfall or the leeward side receive no or a very less rainfall. So this is the basic or chief characteristic of the orographic rainfall. The area situated on the leeward side which get less rainfall is known as the rain shadow zone or shadow zone या rain shadow area. So this is also known as the relief rain. The second name of orographic is called as relief rain. Third we'll see the cyclonic. So there are two kind of cyclonic rainfall. Temperate रीजन में जो साइक्लोन्स आते हैं दिस इज एक्स्ट्रा ट्रॉपिकल और टेम्परेट साइक्लोन रेनफॉल, और ट्रॉपिकल रीजन में जो साइक्लोन्स आते हैं उनसे जो रेनफॉल होता है दिस इज द ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन, बट दिस पार्ट इज नॉट इंक्लूडेड इन योर सिलेबस ड्यू टू द CBSE डिडक्टेड. नाउ द वर्ल्ड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ द रेनफॉल, different part of the world there is a distribution of the rainfall. Different places on the earth's surface receive different amount of rainfall. So as you know there is no uniformity in the receiving of rainfall. It varies from region to region, area to area, season to season actually. In general it provides from equator to toward the pole. Generally we can say that from equator to pole there is a decrease in the rainfall, means equator receive maximum rainfall and poles receives minimum rainfall. In general we can say this thing, but it also varies from availability or spread over water and land area, winter and summer, latitudinal effect and all these things. The coastal area of the world receive greater amount of rainfall than the interior of the continent. This is the second difference. First we can say equator maximum receive करता है, poles minimum receive करते हैं, then coastal area maximum receive करते हैं, interior areas में फिर और decrease होता जाता है, continent कम receive करते हैं. Rainfall is more over the ocean than over the land masses of the world. Oceans area में ज़्यादा rainfall होते हैं due to the conventional rainfall, और land जो areas हैं continents वहाँ comparatively less rainfall होता है. Generally we can say that between latitude of 35 to 40 degree north and south in both the hemispheres of equator the rain is heavier on the eastern coast and goes on decrease toward the western area. यानी ईस्टर्न कोस्ट जो भी एरिया है वहाँ मैक्सिमम रेनफॉल, ज़्यादा रेनफॉल रिसीविंग है, और इन्हीं कॉन्टिनेंट्स के एंड लैटिट्यूड्स के बीच के वेस्ट वाले जो कॉर्नर्स हैं, वेस्ट जो एरियाज हैं वहाँ लेस रेनफॉल होता है. बिटवीन 45 to 65 डिग्री नॉर्थ और साउथ में of equator due to the westerlies the rainfall is first received on the western margin of the continent and it goes on decrease toward the east. So this is the effect of the westerlies, or we can say the effect of the Mediterranean Sea rainfall also. Wherever mountains are run parallel to the coastal area, the rain is greater on the coastal plain on the windward side and decrease in the leeward side as we just see in the orographic rainfall. Then on the basis of total amount of the annual precipitation, major precipitation regime of the world are identified as follow. Equatorial belt receive maximum rainfall, then windward sides of the mountainous area, western coastal area in cold temperate zone, and coastal area of the monsoon land receive heavy rainfall over the 200 centimeter per annum per year. Interior continent area receive moderate, means not too high, not too low. The coastal area of the continent receive moderate amount of rainfall. Central part of the tropical land and eastern and interior part of the temperate land receive rainfall varies over 50 to 100 centimeter, means receiving less rainfall comparatively. Area lying the rainfall shadow zone or interior of the continent high latitude receive very less rainfall, near about 50 centimeter per annum only. Seasonal distribution also varies. Seasonal distribution of rainfall provide an important aspect to judge the effectiveness. In some region, rainfall is distributed evenly throughout the year, such as in equatorial belt or in western part of the cold temperate region. But if we talk about India and monsoon area, so they receives maximum rainfall after the summer, means in monsoon season, and in winter they receive very less rainfall. Thank you.